YB stays on your neck.
What are you telling them?
No more losing the fat dudes, man. Come on, man. They're killing you on the memes, man. You're supposed to punish
I'm
that
bringing you
dude,
some
man.
entertainment.
Yeah, you're supposed to punish that.
What are you telling them?
No more losing the fat dudes, man. Come on, man. They're killing you on the memes, man. You're supposed to punish
I'm
that
bringing you
dude,
some
man.
entertainment.
Yeah, you're supposed to punish.
Yo, my dons, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. So I kind of did half of this video the other day, and on the first half of the video I'd broken down Joshua's response and went into that, but there's also another side to this. This goon, this New York Donny who mugged Anthony Joshua off, telling him no more losing to fat dudes. AJ's response, no matter what way you cut it, humble or not humble, jokey or not jokey, what we do know is consistently the public view of Joshua over this last week or so has been extremely positive, happy, excited or whatever. And when a guy comes up to you and says no more losing to fat dudes, when you got some random broke ass dude on the street who, that for me shows a lack of respect. Listen, when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, do you think anyone dared come up to Mike and tell him no more losing to fat dudes or no more losing to bums? They wouldn't have dared. Mike would have taken his head clean off his shoulders. Now, Mike Tyson lost fights, no problem. But it's that nasty ass attitude. I feel, I may be wrong, I'm hoping I'm proved wrong. Whatever I say, I'm hoping I'm proved wrong. I'm hoping Joshua comes to the ring in November with the nastiest attitude. But listen, forget what I said about after the fight. Let's think about before the fight. What do we know? Giving the belts away and smiling and in the camera. I just don't rate that. And many other people don't rate that either. And that's why I feel it's my duty to make this video in case someone hears it. We need that viciousness back. People are saying, oh, well, he never had it. Oh, yeah, he come from a middle class or that kind of level of family or whatever. Oh, he hasn't come up hard enough. You don't have to come from the slums to have a viciousness in you. Look at, there's many fighters before in history who've had viciousness in them. Yeah? And I believe Joshua early in his career had that viciousness. I forgot what I was listening to, but someone made a good point. They said, look at the Dillian Whyte fight. When he was hurting Dillian Whyte and sticking his tongue out. That's the kind of nastiness you need. You need that. All of this public image, all of this PC, all of this, what do they call it? This politician kind of jab. That's all right to have, but I'd rather, whilst you're in this boxing career, I'd rather you forget all that and almost be like Ali in that sense. Where Ali, yeah, he was political at the time, but when he was fighting, he went on to do all that charity stuff after his career was done. Maybe he did some in his time as well, but what I'm saying is, either way, regardless of what anyone done, there's plenty of time. Fighters don't have a long time. 35, 40, tops. 40, absolute tops. You can do all that, shaking hands and showing belts and sharing belts, when you're 42 until you die, until you're 80. You've got 40 years of that. I feel, for these next 10 years, you need to kind of put that stuff to the side and be vicious. When you're meeting babies and shaking hands, I do feel it turns you into more of a statesman rather than a vicious killer. I don't care what no one says. I've never been in there competitively speaking, so I put my hands up. Maybe I'm barking at the wrong tree, but from what I've heard, people say that it's a mindset. And for the longest time, many people, including myself, I've said, oh, well, Joshua can turn it on. He knows how to turn it on and turn it off. I'm not so sure now. I'm not so sure. I'm really not. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like that viciousness is just fading a bit. Just fading. And for me, the epitome of it was giving the belts out, like I just mentioned. You've earned them. What planet is that? And even if, forget boxing, even if it was table tennis, still, that's your belt. Who does this punk think he is? In fact, if it was my belt, even him looking at it, I'd be like, what are you looking at these for? Do you know what I mean? They're not coming home with you tomorrow night. Do you know what I'm saying? The only time they should be anywhere near you is when they're in your dreams. That's the kind of attitude I feel a heavyweight champion or any champion of anything should have. Because then when a guy does come to take it, when you're in them pressure moments, you have to It's all well and good saying, oh, it's only a sport and oh, it's only a loss, and it's all well and good saying that, but at the time, it's these things, when you, what's the word, when you build up, so when a loss, or when the belts, if the belts really mean something to you, if the loss really means something to you, that's what gives you that viciousness. That's what gives you that willingness to continue and carry on and find a way to win. When you look at the belts as, oh, it's only a belt, oh, it's only a loss, that's great for keeping your mental health stable. But when you're in the trenches, thinking to yourself, I don't want a loss, or thinking to yourself, I don't want to give them belts up. You need to put them aspects on a pedestal, because that's what gives you the drive to go in there and be a vicious beast. Now, I'm not one of the goons, as I broke down yesterday. Some people are saying, oh, well, even if he was concussed, he should have found a way. But at this point, like I said to you, man, listen, Joshua's not giving us nothing. He's telling us he's 100% fine. So on that basis, we have to assume that's the case. People say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you're making excuses. And to be honest with you, like I just said, Joshua's not giving us nothing, not giving us any, not even a little smidgen to back us in that sense. So from that respect, we have to go on the basis that he was 100% that night. And if he was 100%, there was nowhere near enough viciousness for the unified champion coming out and backstepping and fiddling around. And like I say, the reason I'm doing this video relating to this subject is because I just feel the heavyweight champion, no goon, especially after a loss, no goon should be coming up to you and saying, oh, no more losing to fat dudes. Who does he think he is? And that just shows, in my opinion, that just shows the public view. And you got to remember, when the public view you as some, like, not a moist guy, but way too approachable. And that's what Andy Ruiz was thinking. Now, you may say, oh, well, out of the ring's different to in the ring, but you give off vibes. When Joshua's giving his belts to Ruiz and whatnot, Ruiz is looking at this guy and he's thinking, you know what, that guy's a bit moist. Whereas, as an example, if right from the start, AJ was mean mugging, being vicious, like I said the other day, Mike Tyson made his career easy for himself. Probably I'd say 1 out of 3 people were already broken before he even got in there. So Joshua can make the next 10 years of his career a lot easier than they have to be. Now, if you're shaking hands, kissing babies, taking pictures with their family members, taking pictures with your opponent's family members, sharing your belts, you're going to completely turn that side off. Ruiz went into the ring not having no real fear. He's already shook your hand. He's already held your belts. Whereas he should have been going in there thinking, wow, there's a 6'7" fighting machine. But I feel AJ completely disarmed that element of it going into the fight. Because look, as I said, just look at the public. The public, for me looking at Joshua, and obviously me knowing Joshua, yeah, I'd feel comfortable going up to him and saying that. But you shouldn't be. Put it this way, Mike Tyson in 1985, or 1989 or 1990 when he fought Buster Douglas, I wouldn't have been rocking up to him and not bullying him, but I wouldn't have been bantering with him about, oh, you lost to Buster Douglas, because I'd be worried about getting my jaw checked. And that's what I feel you should have. That's the ruthlessness you should have. Now, I'm sure there'll be some Ultra AJ fans out there who say, oh, no, he's the People's Champion. Well, look where the People's Champion got you. There's no people, and that's what makes me laugh. People keep telling me, oh, YB, you're not giving enough respect to Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz didn't do much. That's what you lot are making out. Andy Ruiz came in, he was slipping, sliding, rolling, banging, stepping. Andy Ruiz had an average performance. The fact that he knocked Joshua over doesn't mean he had an amazing performance. He was alright in there. He didn't do nothing he hasn't done before. Does that make sense? If Ruiz had come in there and showed me something that we didn't already know he could do, that was an average performance for Ruiz. There was nothing amazing about it. It just so happened on that night, any shot he hit Joshua with, Joshua was all over the place. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Joshua was awful. Ruiz wasn't that great. He was alright. Tell me one thing that Ruiz did that we didn't know he could do. And that's what I'm saying. Simple as that. He did alright, but you're not giving enough credit. Credit for what? You beat an AJ. Don't get me wrong. Ruiz can only beat what's in front of him, but let's call a spade here. AJ comes out backstepping and he looked like On no word of a lie, yeah, it felt to me, that fight felt like AJ was fighting Mike Tyson. Not the other. Does that make sense? It felt like Ruiz was this big 6'6" giant unified champion. That's how we fought. Literally, the people I talk about, when I said 1 in 3 people who fought Tyson are already broken. Watch how they fight Tyson. They're going back, they're tentative, they're shook. That's how Joshua fought Ruiz. And I just feel this all comes down to mentality. And like I just said, regardless of the concussion, let's go with Joshua. Let's agree with him. You weren't concussed. You were 100%. That's what he's been telling us. That's what his team have been telling us. No one's thrown YB or anyone else any rope. We've had to hang ourselves. Simple. No one's helped us out. We've been here talking about conspiracies, and we get thrown under the bus. So on that basis, we'll go with the fact you were 100%. Well, if you were 100% being unified champion, why did you come out shook for? You should have planted your feet and said, what's popping? Let's see what's good. And the feet makes me laugh. People say, oh, he can't do that. Ruiz ain't no Mike Tyson. He ain't. He's not a bad man. What are you on about? Joshua couldn't possibly stand with Ruiz. Ruiz what? Are you joking? But Joshua couldn't stand with Ruiz. I said it myself in my pre-fight build-up. I said, I'll be completely shocked if Joshua takes a back step that night. Bearing in mind all the hype Joshua was talking about, yeah, I'm done with boxing, I'm here for the KOs. And I wasn't saying that because I'm a hype man, I was saying that genuinely speaking. I couldn't believe Ruiz could stand and bang with Joshua, didn't believe it. Now, I rate Ruiz for his combinations and whatnot, but I still didn't believe he'd be able to, and to be honest with you, if you look at my comment sections back then, that no one, when I made them statements, no one was coming out and saying, YB, you're crazy. There's no way Joshua can stand with Ruiz. Joshua's going to be backing it the whole night. No one was saying that. No one at all. Everyone was agreeing. And now all of a sudden, Ruiz, look at his knockout ratio. He's got a 65% knockout ratio. He's not some massive puncher. He's not some massive dude. He went 7 rounds with some random bum and didn't even put the man down. That's what I'm trying to tell you lot. He didn't have a great performance. Joshua was literally out of 10. Let's say an average Joshua is a 5 out of 10. AJ was 1 out of 10. Everything that hit him, he went over. Oh, well, he got hit on a temple shot. Everyone gets hit on a temple shot. It wasn't really a big deal. It really wasn't. But that's here or there. I'm just saying, bottom line, concussion or no concussion, assuming Joshua was 100%, the way he came out was just too... The way he came out was the epitome, or was the manifestation of the whole build-up, giving your belts out. That there, I know I keep going back to it, but that there says it all for me. That's how he fought. He fought like he was the one who was happy to be there. And that's the thing about it. Look how he reacted after the fight. He fought as if he was lucky to be there. He fought as if he was the B-side getting the payday. And when he got beat, he reacted like he was the B-side who was happy to get a payday. Oh yeah, great. Let's get in the picture. Oh yeah, thanks for turning up. That's what it felt like to me. Oh yeah, thanks for turning up, AJ. Good shout. Thanks for the payday, Andy Ruiz. That's what I felt like Joshua's reaction was been. And even this here, with the fan. I just feel, going forward, well, me personally, he's not going to do this, obviously, but I feel that going forward, there should be a heavyweight champion, the special heavyweight champions. There should be an element of uncertainty. There should be an element of fear that if Joshua's not going to put an element of fear into the public, at least put an element of uncertainty or an element of fear into your competitors. If you want to be all friendly and happy with the fans, that's fair enough. But at least with your competitors, you shouldn't be. No one should see you as a bit of a sucker. But just look at his actions throughout all this build-up. I've been saying all the time. Whenever all the things that Fury and Wilder say, Joshua's always saying, "Oh yeah, well, I know they want to fight. Yeah, I know they're not scared." He's always bigging them up, and they're just mugging him off. I just don't understand that way of thinking. I wouldn't mind if there's a particular fighter that's giving Joshua loads of respect. Of course, if Joshua doesn't want to go at him, that's fine. But for people who are going to disrespect you as a heavyweight champion, I just don't get why you'd sit there and soak it up. I know people can say, "Oh well, humble." I'm sorry. I just don't think that works at this level. I think the people that treat you like that, you should just mug them off completely. Why not? And what? You're going to have to fight him anyway. I don't get it. I don't get the whole need for this nicey business. Especially when it was one thing. People say, "Oh, YB, you weren't saying this before." Well, I was. That's the first thing. That's what we do know. I was saying this. And now it's become the case where I feel a lack of viciousness has led to where we're sitting today. This could have been a complete different story, possibly. And to be honest with you, even maybe it'd have been the same way. Maybe if Joshua had planted his feet, he would have gone out the same way. But at least Ruiz is sitting there now feeling too nice. Ruiz is sitting there now thinking, wow, all I've got to do is come in and touch this guy on the chin. He's got absolutely no respect for Joshua. There's no uncertainty for him at all. If Joshua had come out and planted his feet and then got caught, it might have been a different story. Ruiz would have known that this guy's coming. Listen, watch the fight back. Joshua comes out and, dude, shook. And then look how I don't know, man. Bottom line is, all in all, I personally, I'd like for Joshua to sort of go through the mental process and start thinking now, you know what? Everything that's gone on has led me to this day, and from now on, I'm not having it no more. It's pure ruthlessness. For anyone in this particular game, it's pure ruthlessness. It's no more messing about. I'm going to go out on my shield or my sword. Because the bottom line is, for that first Ruiz fight, he played all back foot and all fanning around and got chinned anyway. You're better off bringing your shield out and thinking, let's pop. Let's see what's popping. And I'm not being funny as well. It's not as if Joshua was a 5'9" dude who you're 6'6" and built like a damn Adonis. Why not? You've got the attributes to do that as well. And up until that last fight, I don't care what no one said, Joshua's chin's been fine. It's a conditioning issue, in my opinion, majority of it. But that's my thoughts.